Welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture we will see how to start the another activity by using intent inside the Android Studio. So head back to your Android Studio. So you can see that I have already created an empty activity project inside the Android Studio. So by default inside the empty activity project we got two files. The first file is activity-main.xml and the second file name is mainActivity.java. So inside of this I have placed a constraint layout as a root layout, and inside of the constraint layout I have placed a one linear layout along with two buttons. I named the button text as first button and the another button name I have specified the second button. Also I have specified the ID as button 2 and button 1. And inside of the main activity I have first declared the variables of the constraint layout and linear layout. Then inside of the onCreate method I have initialized these two layout variables with their corresponding ID names. Now here I am going to declare the button variables. Then after that I am going to initialize all the button inside the onCreate method and set the listener directly to the button, and then I will write my code to start the another activity. So first I am going to type here button, then press a tab key, and then I am going to name my button as first button, then second button, which is the name of my second button, then hit a semicolon. Then it's time to initialize these two buttons inside the onCreate method. So here I am going to initialize my button. So the first button is first button equals to find view by ID, hit a tab key, then r dot id dot, and the ID of the first button is button 1. Then also for second button is equal to find view by dot id dot, then here I am going to specify r dot id dot, and the button name is button 2, then hit a semicolon. Then I am going to set the listener directly to the first button. So I am going to type first button dot set onClick listener, and here I am going to type new and then capital V, and this is the first option that we want. Simply hit a tab key, so it will auto complete the code for us. Then here we need to use the class of the intent. Then first I am going to type intent, then press a tab key, and then I am going to type the intent, then equals to. Then so this is an object of the intent. So this is the intent class and it is an object of the intent. Now with the use of new operator I am again going to type intent. Then here we need to type main activity dot this, then semicolon. Then we need to type here second activity dot class. So right now this second activity dot class file is not created. So what I am going to do, I am just going to click on this project tab, and here then you need to click on this app folder, right click on the app folder, then go to new, and then here from activity and select any activity that you want. So I am going to select the empty activity. Then I am going to name my activity as second activity and simply click on this finish button. So you can see that the Gradle process started. So our second activity is completed successfully. So switch back to main activity. So you can see that the error is gone. I'm going to click on this project tab so that I can get a more wider area to work. Then press enter key and we need to start the intent. So I'm going to type start activity. So this is the thing that we want. The fifth option, simply press the enter key, and here we need to pass the object of the intent, that is intent. So that's all for the coding to start the activity when we click on the first button. So it's time to see the code in action. So I'm going to run this application into my virtual emulator. So I'm going to run this application into my virtual emulator. So select your virtual emulator and hit OK. So here you can see that our application is up and running. So I'm going to click on this first button to see that whether our activity changes the screen or not. So I'm going to click on the first button, so you can see that we are in the second activity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place some text view inside the second activity.xml file. So here I'm going to drag the text view inside the constraint layout, and the text view I'm going to change it to second activity, and I'm going to place this into the center of the screen. Now it's time to set the constraint. And I'm going to increase the size little bit. So I'm going to type text size and I'm going to type 40 sp. Also I'm going to change the text style to bold. and I'm going to specify the text color to hex 000. Then by clicking on this square icon, I'm going to change the color. So I want a little bluish color. Then that's it. So now again I'm going to run this application to my virtual emulator to see the changes. So here you can see that our application is up and running. So I'm going to click on this first button. So you can see that right now we are in the second activity. So this is how we start the activity with the use of the intent class. So simply if I copy the same code inside the second button as well, so on the click of the second button we can also start the second activity screen. So I'm going to press enter key, and here I'm going to type second button dot set on click listener, and then I need to specify new, then capital V, hit a tab key, and we'll complete the code for us. Then I'm going to copy this code and simply paste it here. So when I click on the second button, we can also start the second activity. So that's it for the coding of the second button. It's time to see the code in action by running the application into virtual emulator. So you can see that our application is up and running. So when I click on the second button, so you can see that we are also switch back to the second activity. Then again I'm going to click on this back button. If I click on the first button, then you can see that we are in the second activity. So that's all about this lecture. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.